Welcome back to the Naissus Fantasy Podcast, and with me as usual is Emanuel Turesson.
Hello.
And Kellie-Anne Davidson.
Hello, hello.
And today we're entering the Potterverse.
Yes, we're talking Scarface. Or, no. Other type of Scar.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to discuss our relations to the Potter series. And I think we're going to start with Kelly. Because you have, I think, the most interest in the Potterverse of
maybe
us three.
Well, I watched all the movies a few times, and I also played the new Harry Potter video game.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes, Hogwarts Legacy. And I enjoyed both of them, actually. Both the video game, based on the movies, and the movies, of course. I haven't read the books, unfortunately, but I do like to watch movies.
Yeah. And
so, the first movie is quite old, I think. It's from 2000 and something.
Beginning is... it's around 2000, I think, 99, 2000, 2001.
Yeah, they were pretty young.
Because it coincided with The Lord of the Rings, that was 2001 as well. So it was a big fantasy start there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lord of the Rings was the first really successful fantasy movie adaptation. So I think that made it easier to greenlight the Harry Potter movies as well.
Yeah, but I think those were already greenlit because the immense popularity of the books. Because those were new books and they hadn't done anything else before it. So I think they actually came out around the same time.
Yeah.
But those many people won't actually know, but that's also a type of fantasy. It's called, usually the genre is called modern fantasy or urban fantasy, which is fantasy that's taking place in our modern times.
Yeah, the definition of urban fantasy usually is that it's not taking place in a secondary world. For example, Lord of the Rings takes place in a secondary world, it's not our world, while Harry Potter is in our world but with a fantastical twist, that magic is real and that you have this secret magic school. But they're still in the United Kingdom in our world.
So, Markus, what's your relation to the Potterverse?
Oh, it goes way back. Initially, in ground school, I didn't like Harry Potter. I was a big Star Wars fan, and there was this debate then between the girls in the class and the boys in the class. What's better, Star Wars or Harry Potter? And my opinion was that clearly Darth Vader is a more frightening villain than this Voldemort guy. Voldemort can't even kill a baby. Have you seen how many babies Anakin managed to kill in one night? Clearly he wins. And there would be this debate, who would win in a fight, Voldemort or Vader or Voldemort or Sauron. And but then you grow up a bit and I watched the movies and I could appreciate the movies for what they are. So yeah, I've seen the movies. I have read a few of the books, not the entire book series. I've read the first, second, and third book. But that was many years ago, so I could consider giving them a reread. Another relationship with J.K. Rowling is when I released my first novel named The Cursed Child. I wasn't aware that she has also released a novel called The Cursed Child, originally a play, but you can buy it as a book as well. So that wasn't very good for me as a new indie author to get drowned by all the different editions of The Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling. And if you try to Google me, Google will automatically say, oh, you're referring to Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling. No, I'm talking about me right now. See me, I exist.
Oh no.
So yeah, love-hate relationship with J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, so I was during this time around the university age, or the bit older, so around 20 when all the books and the hype was around there. So I read all the books because I don't have the patience to wait.
No.
And during that time I read a lot, so it was easier to get the book and you can read it in a day or something.
A day?
Yeah, you learn, if you read a lot, you learn to do something that's called speed reading. So you can read a lot pretty fast. But
I consider myself a fast reader, but not anymore.
But if I remember correctly, the prose isn't that complicated in the Harry Potter books.
No.
The language, so to say, is a bit basic.
Sure, and I think when you're already familiar with the worlds and the fantasy genre, and you read a lot of different books, that was like if you read The Lord of the Rings, they're pretty deep and a lot of facts, and you have to go on different journeys about what this has happened and why this has happened. In the Harry Potter series, you have that as well, but not in the same amount. And you discover the world a lot through Harry Potter. The main character is your way into the world in many ways. So that made it pretty easy, because the books as well are made for young adults.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big reason why you could read them fast as well.
You don't have to stop and think about what does that word mean.
No, and you know where the plot is going in some ways, not always, but some ways.
I mean, to clarify, the point I was trying to make is, if you compare, for example, J.K. Rowling as an author to J.R. Tolkien, if you read The Lord of the Rings in its original English language, he uses a very complicated form of English, but he was also, a language professor. So he was a master of the English language. And also, since he was a language professor, he also had a deep love for the English language. Language was very central for him. He even created his own languages, which you can learn. So that was my point, that when you're reading, for example, such a book, and you're not a native English speaker, there might be more frequently that you have to stop in the text and look up a word because you've never heard it before. While as J.K. Rowling, as you said, it's for young adults. So you have to simplify the language a bit to make it accessible for younger readers. But I know also a big compliment to her is also that she managed to make the books grow with her readers. So instead of keeping it like, say for example, that the first book is written for people 12-year-old. There aren't all of the parts written for a 12-year-old. Instead, she knows my audience is growing, and so the works has to grow with them. They grow up with Harry Potter. And not that you read the first 3 parts and now you're too old so you can't continue appreciating the series and leave it. And I think she was one of the first big fantasy authors to do that. It hadn't been done before in the same extent, I know.
No, I don't think it had been done. Usually before you had your genre and you wrote your story the same way. So if you read the first book, you know the third book will be probably the same.
Yeah.
So
the reading experience of, for example, Lord of the Rings is the same all through. He doesn't change the age requirement to read the Lord of the Rings, regardless if you read the Fellowship of the Ring or the Return of the King.
And that in the Potterverse in much way comes natural, because you follow a young adult that actually grows as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, because I think there should be around 17, 18 in the end of the books.
Yeah, if I
because
remember,
it's 7 books.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, also the books have a very similar structure. That each book is a whole school year, which mean that time in the world passes a whole year between every book. Which mean that if you read all the 7 parts, you have lived with Harry Potter and his friends for 7 years. But also the characters are in an age where 7 years makes a big difference, because they're young, the characters, so you evolve a lot as a person. It's not that you watch a character go from the age of 40 to 47. Maybe then that character won't change equally much as going from like the age 10 to 17.
And there are some spin-offs as well, because you have the magical creature movies.
Oh,
Yeah, aren't
Magical.
those aren't the scripts written by J.K. Rowling, or did they just franchise it?
I think she's involved.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure either.
But those I really like those movies because those are not. They're still in the same universe, but you get to see so much more of the world because
oh,
they're traveling all over the world, and you got to follow the different fantastic creatures of the main guy is traveling with the
okay.
special.
I haven't seen those.
No,
Yeah, I've seen the first movie, and if I remember correctly, it's set in New York City.
Yes,
Hmm.
and I think the second movie they're traveling all over Europe, and
Oh,
you get to see loads of fun stuff because many of those stuff are mentioned in the books, and this is a somewhat of an origin story of everything.
Yeah.
okay.
If I remember correctly, there's only one of the books, the Harry Potter books, where you have visitors from other schools.
Yes, it's
yeah.
the Gauntlet of Fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
where
I
they had
remember
the
that
prom.
movie. If I remember right, didn't they have a Russian delegation as well in that one?
Yes,
Yeah.
They
Or
had
what?
the
No,
big
was it
Russians.
Bulgaria?
Eastern European.
Eastern, yeah.
But it
Eastern-
may be important difference for me, although.
I do think they're
It's half
supposed to
Slavic.
be Russians.
Well, we'll get back to that. We'll have our technician look up were they Bulgarian or Russian.
There were
Now
big,
so
strong
Jamie
guys.
get on it.
Yeah, Mrs. Jimmy, you will sort this out.
Yes.
Important distinguish.
Yes, you
or
have to
our
know.
Slavic listeners.
Yes, yes. They are big, strong boys
Well, of course.
wearing bear skin for warmth.
They sure are.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what I remember, like one of the things I didn't appreciate with Harry Potter was the magic system was too unclear for me. It created a situation where I felt that Hermione will always be able to find some spell that will sort out this problem. There were no clear rules for what you can't do with magic, and there was not enough information so that I could feel like, I know what Hermione is gonna figure out. Yeah, it was the spell I thought she was gonna use. Look, I'm smart like Hermione.
Mm. She
Or-
just figures it out.
Yeah,
like,
she just figures it out.
No problem.
There's no Easter eggs for me to find it out along the way. There are no clues.
I haven't thought about that.
Well, if you take an off like Brandon Sanderson, who goes very deep with his magic systems, they're very clear.
Yeah.
Almost like rules of biology or physics. But a lot of Brandon's fans appreciate that about him. That you can clearly know what the magic can and can't do. Especially in the Stormlight Archive series.
Yeah.
But-
And I get it, but I'm not the same way. Because I don't want to know. I like it when it's a bit of chaos. It's magic. You're not supposed to know. I'm not supposed to know. I like the imagination of maybe she will be able to do this or this or this, and I can play around with the imagination about all the different things that could happen. And then I get the answer, and I said, "Oh, that was smart. Oh, that was good." Because when I look at someone that has the rules of Brandon Sanderson, started to get sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes it gets into a lecture instead of a story.
Yeah.
Because you need to know this, it's about this, and this metal does this, and this. And you got, okay.
Just do
I'm
the
reading
magic.
a Wikipedia page.
Yes. Just do the magic and get the thing over with, please.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big core distinguish if you prefer the ordered magic system or the mystical magic system, the predictable magic system or the whatever can happen.
And I get the points for both. I'm just more.
Yeah, everybody have their preference.
I think I'm actually quite in the middle of both of you.
No, I'm generally also there. It was more that in Harry Potter, I never felt any true stakes in that story.
She could just whip up something.
The story just wasn't for me, but everybody's different.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I mean, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan because I know anybody can die. The politics is complex. The politics is realistic. And I don't get to understand anything about the Potterverse politics. Like, every year, there's a huge scandal at this school. The same professor type gets fired every year. And you're telling me that the Secretary of Education has never closed that school or replaced its headmaster. I just don't buy it.
Well, then you have to remember, because some of the best villains actually do that.
Yeah, no, I need the point of view character, in the cabinet throughout the books as well, so I can see the political process and, backroom dealings and how Voldemort's minions are infiltrating the parliament. That's what, is interesting to me. So I'm just saying that Harry Potter is not a setting or story that appeals to me and the kind of reader I am. Yeah, so I'm not saying that Harry Potter is bad, absolutely not. I'm just saying it's not my cup of tea.
What you want is the Andor series of the Potterverse.
Exactly. I want that spin-off. No, I want more, British House of Cards meets Harry Potter. I want the British feeling of this magical parliament with their House of Lords or House of Purebloods or House of Mugglers or something. Make it fit the Potterverse. And I want to see the career of the blonde father to the evil.
Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah, I want to see his political career, his political rise in Parliament.
I think he might have very strong opinions.
Yeah,
he feels like that type of person.
Yeah. He's a bit of a Nazi. That can be appealing too in movies sometimes.
Yeah.
You want to follow the bad guy.
Of course.
The rise of evil.
Yes. And I think when I watched all the movies when I was younger, I really enjoyed just to escape into a world similar to ours, but where things could happen all the time. And the young people who could solve all their problems in different ways with just a touch of magic. You could go invisible with the invisible cloak, and then you could go anywhere.
Naissus Jamie found out apparently that they weren't supposed to be Eastern European,
No?
Swedish or Norwegian.
Then I vote for Swedish, of course.
They didn't give me very Swedish vibes.
No,
they're Vikings.
They didn't give me the Viking vibes.
No, not at all.
More the Russian Tsar vibes.
Yes, with the big bear fur.
Yes.
And the very strong boys.
The Scandinavian Council of Social Democrats will file an official complaint.
Yes, of course.
I say no.
No.
They were Russian Bulgarians.
Yes.
Yeah, in the movie adaptation.
Yeah.
Not in the books.
But here's the big thing that I went into the books instead of the movies, because I read one of the books, and then the first movie came out, and then because of to learn about the world, they made so much more sense in the books, because when you make a movie, the adaptation was what I felt very rushed. Because they had to make the movies so fast, because the next movie and the next movie.
Yeah.
And you need to, when you do an adaptation, you need to find the core. I never felt that they made the world seem as alive in the movies as in the books.
Okay.
Because let's take any of the years. So one of the first 4 books, let's say, there's a lot of going to classes and learning and having this class, and you get to know why they need to know all this. And sometimes those things first come back and are used in maybe 2 books later.
Oh.
But when you go in the movies, they don't have time to show them going to all the classes, because the story of the movie need to move forward.
Yeah.
They have to cut a lot of the classes and just focus on the class that they feel is relevant for the movie's story.
Yeah. Then remove some of the series story because of the singular movie story.
Yeah.
So I went deeper into the books, and I rewatched the movies later, and I still felt a little bit of the same.
You still prefer the books over the movies?
Yeah, in that way. It's not always the case for me, but in this case I felt that they were rushed, and I'm really looking forward on the new chapter to seeing what are they going to do when it turns into a TV series.
Yeah. Before we move over there, I just also want to say, because on that subject, a feeling I also had when I watched the movie was, for example, there's a lot of focus about the class that is like defense against the dark arts.
Yep.
Where I also felt like, okay, this feels almost like a military education. Why are they all being trained to be almost soldiers? They never establish like how frequently can you be attacked by the dark arts? What is the purpose of knowing this stuff? Because they established a word like you go to this magic school, then you go back to the normal world and live a sort of normal life. You have to hide that you can use magic. So what is the threat? What is the villain that's going to attack you? They never established like, oh, these sort of magical creatures, they're everywhere. And as you might know from growing up, you've seen your parents kill at least 100 of these. So you have to be able to defend yourself from them. Or saying that, oh, there's this rivaling country and we might get into war with them and they practice the dark arts. So everybody has to be prepared in case of a war breakout so that you can all be mustered into the national army. So, I mean, they never established like, why is this threat imminent? What are the stakes? Why do they need to know this? And that just makes it feel strange. Because, okay, I went to school in Sweden. We didn't have a weekly rifle class. Okay, gather around, children. Now we're going to learn how to use a Kalashnikov and how to shoot someone.
But if you needed a rifle to write, then you needed rifle classes as well. Because they uses the wands to every type of magic. So therefore, you need to also know how to defend.
Yes, and you do also have Lord Voldemort, and he is a threat through all the movies.
But don't they say all the time that he's not around anymore?
But he always is.
Harry Potter knows that.
Yeah.
But not the general curriculum. It's not the character of Harry Potter that decides the curriculum of school.
No.
I don't know, but they should have a Department of Education that decides curriculum, like in the real world. And if the national policy is Voldemort isn't around anymore, then why do you have classes to defend against him?
True.
You see, this is where the Martin person in me comes in the way and says, I don't buy this.
But you do have the dark floating ghost thingies.
But don't they work for the government?
Sometimes.
So, I mean, then we're back.
And they also work for Voldemort.
Yeah, but not according to the official line of the government. In the Soviet Union, you didn't have courses about how to defend yourself against the Red Army or the NKVD. They are here to protect you, comrade. The General Secretariat loves you. Clearly not the truth, but it was the line of the government. So the government aren't going to help you defend yourself against the KGB or the NKVD.
True.
So, let's see here. Now, Krum has arrived here, so which school does he go to, and where is it?
Let's see.
Hijack the podcast for a second. Viktor Krum is Bulgarian, and he played for the Bulgarian team, but he attended the school of, let's see, the name of the school was Drumstang Institute, and the Drumstang Institute is in Sweden or Norway.
Oh, okay.
And we know he was Bulgarian, not
Russian.
Russian.
No.
Yes, big difference.
Yes, it's a very big difference.
Sure. Yeah, so the TV adaptation then, there's going to be a TV show and it has stirred some emotions online.
Yes, they're going to make Snape a black person.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
I'm going to do what I always do and say, I don't really care until I see it.
Same.
You know,
because I get the feelings. I sent a funny clip to Markus earlier when this was from Saturday Night Live, which showed where they interviewed the new Black Snape,
Yeah.
like a fake character, and he said, "Yeah, it's strange because Harry Potter met me the first guy. I'm the only black guy here, and he doesn't trust me."
Mm.
No, but he was trying to protect. Someone had stolen the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah, so something was stolen, and you try to put it on the black guy. The first thing you do. Yeah, okay.
Oh
I
my
get.
gosh.
But
Oh no.
but then I mean, everything when it comes to this doesn't have to be anything more than how. If you make it right, it will work.
Yes, and my example of that very thing is that recently one of my favorite franchises had this exact dilemma where the fans split into two camps. It was a new season of The Witcher,
Yes.
and all of our favorite vampire, Emil Regis, was played by Lawrence Fishburne. And it was the same thing there. Some said that, oh, he's supposed to be a white vampire, can't be an African-American vampire. Up. I said, give the man a chance, let him cook. And then I watched the show, and I loved his performance as Regis. He did a tremendous job. He made the character all the justice. So my opinion, although it matters very little since I'm not a Potterhead, is that give the man a chance to cook.
Yes.
And perhaps he will do it even better than the previous actors. You never know.
I think I don't care, personally, if he's black or white or whatever he is. But I think many people associate Professor Snape with Alan Rickman.
Of course, because that's their picture of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when the picture changes physically, people are going to be upset beforehand. And he might be doing a great job doing the character.
Yeah,
And then people might change.
and maybe this isn't their Potter.
Yeah.
Verse.
Yeah.
This is the new generation's Potterverse.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need to do the same thing once more.
No.
We can do something new and see what story these characters take us on.
Yes. And even if people wanted to have the original Snape, it's not possible anymore.
No.
How much they want Alan Rickman to play, you can't, because he's gone.
That never stopped Star Wars and Disney.
Have they
That's
switched
why-
out Darth Vader a few times?
No, Admiral Tarkin, that actor was animated in one of the movies because the real actor was dead.
Oh no.
So they animated the character to look exactly like the actor.
Smart.
And if
There's
you-
some ethical dilemmas around that.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to Star Wars, there's like 4 people that have played Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's easy because he's always wearing a mask.
yeah, well, you have Anakin,
Mm.
that's Hayden Christensen,
Yeah.
and then there was a guy that played Darth Vader through all the 3 movies, and then when they removed his face,
Mm.
the mask, they put in another actor for just that scene, and they changed his voice, so he's just
So it's just mimicking.
That is why he's such a legendary character. There cannot only be one. It takes a team effort to bring Lord Vader to the screen.
Oh,
so.
no.
Have you heard the fan theory about Star Wars and Harry Potter?
No.
So there's something that many fans of usually calls that Harry Potter should actually be called Scar Wars,
Scar Wars.
because you have an orphaned protagonist little boy who's
Yeah.
left with his uncle and aunt,
Yeah.
being taken by a magical dude
Mm-hmm.
away from his home
Mm.
to get training from an even more mystical magical dude that's almost high all of the time.
Yeah.
So the origin story
It's the
It's
same.
very similar.
Yeah.
similar but still different. So
Same but different.
Oh, yes.
And Star Wars definitely came out before Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
of course,
But yeah, that's no secret either. So even if it would be true that Star Wars was a big inspiration for J.K. Rowling to write her own version of that, authors do that all the time.
Yeah.
A large inspiration for George R. R. Martin was, for example, Dune. There are many similarities there as well. And, Dune was probably also a big inspiration for George Lucas when he made Star Wars. So, I mean, that keeps on going in every genre for every generations of authors. So, of course, you can take inspiration from a story that you appreciated and give it your own twist.
Yes.
of course. And I mean, they're not that similar if you look at everything.
Everything
around
else,
it.
yes.
But I think it's time that we handle the true, deep questions, the burning questions that the fans once answered. And that is who would win. So I'm gonna throw out some scenarios, and we here as the Council of Wise have to break this down and say who would win.
Mm-hmm.
So we will start off Voldemort versus Lord Vader. Who would win in a fight?
Vader.
Mm.
I mean, Voldemort has done bad things, but that was a long time ago.
Mm.
He hasn't actually succeeded that much in the later.
No.
More than, I mean, he's more of the Darth Maul of the. He like points
Yeah.
and pushes some buttons and stuff. He's not the.
He's not the Dark Lord of the Sith.
No, but I mean, if you look at.
Yeah, so let's break this down. Okay, so first of all, weapons, abilities. Okay, so Lord Vader has his red lightsaber.
Yes.
He can use the Force. He can lift things, throw things, strangle people. And if I remember correctly, Voldemort has to use a wand,
Yes.
and he has to say stuff
Yes.
to attack.
Yes.
So if we set this in like a UFC style octagon with a ring that says fight, I believe Vader's opening move will be to throw out his hand and use the Force and pull over Voldemort's wand and break it in his hand, and then ignite his lightsaber.
Then
I think
Voldemort
that will be
die.
his opening move. How does Voldemort stop that? Kelly, you're the expert. How does he counter this opening move?
I don't think he can counter it because he has to use his wand to cast spells. So
And he needs the time to say something.
Yes, even though it's pretty quick to say, but he has to have his wand.
Yeah.
So I think he
And
will
Vader
lose.
is pretty quick with the Force.
Yes.
And also this Avada Kedavra, it's like a beam.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have seen Vader's ability with, deflecting beams of light. Several at one moment.
I wouldn't be in the audience for that one.
No.
So,
yeah.
You don't want to sit ringside for that fight, clearly. Okay,
No.
so we say Vader wins.
Yes.
Okay, we got the next one. The popular matchup is Voldemort versus Sauron. But then you first have to make the distinguish. Is it Sauron with the Ring of Power, or is it when he's a red glowing eye on a tower? And for this fight, we say, if Voldemort gets to have his wand, Sauron gets to have his ring. Who would win, Sauron or Voldemort?
So we're
Is he a person? Sauron?
Yeah, Sauron has an armor then.
Or,
Lord
yeah.
of the Rings. He's a deity of a sort.
he's more like a fallen angel.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a bit like Lucifer,
Okay. So what are his abilities compared to
Um,
Voldemort?
Super strong.
Yeah.
I'm a bit unsure what sort of magical powers he has when he wields his ring, but he has some, right?
But he has, but it's tough because Sauron, if you look at his power comes from deception and
Manipulation. Yeah. And he doesn't have the time to manipulate,
No.
anybody for this fight.
but he's a bit of a shapeshifter. He can turn into stuff.
So if he turns into Harry Potter, then Voldemort won't be able to kill him because Voldemort never succeeded to kill Harry Potter.
But
in the
it's
first
more
place.
of an illusion.
Yeah,
He
but if
doesn't-
you think,
no, I mean he doesn't actually turn into Harry Potter. He just
No,
looks
but-
like him.
yeah, but if
You mean that will confuse Voldemort from
yes.
attacking?
But the thing we have to, I mean, Sauron doesn't die,
no,
Yeah.
So
Voldemort
can
can't.
he lose?
But you could say the same with Voldemort and his Horcruxes. So
Yeah,
I
but
think
those-
for the debate, we have to remove the trait of immortality.
Yes.
And I mean, this is sort of like a UFC fight. You don't have to die. You just have to lose the fight.
I actually believe Voldemort. I think he's gonna throw like a Verkadaver or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.
That might hurt.
Here we got a little bit of a breakdown here of the arsenal that Sauron has. Shapeshifting, initially able to change appearance to become beautiful or monstrous, though he lost this ability after the fall of Numenor. Sorcery and magic, master of illusions, darkness manipulation, and necrosorcery. He could unleash fire, create explosions, and control the landscape. The One Ring poured his native power into the ring, enhancing his ability to control minds and govern the other rings of power. So yeah, sorcery. He could throw a fireball, and as a veteran of Dungeons and Dragons, never underestimate the fireball.
I cast
And
fireball.
yet again, do not sit ringside for this fight.
No.
I mean, I think the way this would play out is that we would lose.
Everybody dies.
But
In the fight of the ages.
I
Yes.
think Sauron would offer a ring of power
To Voldemort.
to Voldemort. And Voldemort likes power.
Yes.
So he wouldn't
loves
accept.
power.
Yeah, so what I see in front of myself is they ding ding ding, they fight the first round. They go into the ring corners. This is when Sauron gets his moment to, do some whispering. They go into the second round, and now they're in the ring corners again. And somewhere around 4 or 5, they just refuse to fight.
No, they start
And
fighting us.
Sauron shows the ring. Take it, and Potter will no longer be able to stop you. Together we will rule the United Kingdom and Middle Earth. And Voldemort will take it, and that is when everybody says, "Oh shit!"
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! We're all gonna die.
And we have a very angry Dana White saying that this is against the rules. This is not what people pay pay-per-views for. Okay, so we kind of say that it's sort of a draw.
Yes.
They're gonna find each other throughout that fight.
And then after the fight, they're going to grab a beer.
Yeah. Okay, so here comes the next one, next comparison.
Mhm.
And this might be one of the few where I'm going to give the edge to Voldemort. And it is Voldemort versus Sauron.
Sauron?
Yeah, I think Voldemort will kill Sauron.
And who is Sauron?
Sauron is one of the mighty sorcerers in Lord of the Rings,
Oh, okay.
also known as Sauron the White.
Oh,
You had Gandalf the Grey,
great. Yeah.
Sauron the White, 2 blue mages,
Yes.
and
Radagast.
Radagast, the cute little mage with the animals.
Brown.
Yeah, Brown.
Mm.
Mr. Brown.
Okay.
And the blue guys you never see, so I don't know what they're off doing.
They're up in the east.
Yeah, boring guys.
They don't want to join.
Just
They're-
lazy.
Yeah.
They decided the safest location to, not have to do that much work.
Yes.
When the work order came in, we're all the way out in the east, man. We can't attend this meeting. Good luck over there in the west.
It's too far to
Too
travel.
far to travel. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
If we were in the west, you would try to make us fight each other.
Yes, yes. We can't do that. No.
Okay, so what do you say, Manuel? Sauron or Voldemort? Who kills who?
I mean, Sauron took Gandalf, so I think he would take Voldemort.
Mm-hmm.
If he couldn't convince him to join from the start. I mean, he is already planning on attacking in different way, and the way he did is he doesn't knock. It's the same way. He steals the wand because he steals the staff in the.
And if you've seen the movie, you know his kung fu abilities with his staff. And I've never seen Voldemort go kung fu in close combat. It's just the Avada Kedavra and not the Shaolin monk.
Oh.
Yeah. So okay. Who do you say? We got 1 against 1.
I actually think Sauron will win.
Voldemort loses again.
Yes.
Okay, now we get to one of my favorite franchises.
Mm-hmm.
We're going into Warhammer Fantasy territory, and we
Oh.
got Malekith, the Witch King, versus Voldemort. And since this is an octagon, I'm sorry, Malekith, you don't get to bring your dragon. You have to fight on foot. But he has his sword and his magical armor.
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go Voldemort in this one.
I got my bro Malekith. He can do this. I'm hearing high elf propaganda right here, right now.
And what I'm thinking is armor in an octagon. It's going to slow you down in a way. I mean, Voldemort just has a cloak. He'll be swift and
fast, yeah.
I think I go with the speed option here.
Okay. And what do you say, Kelly? We got another one.
I also think as Emanuel, Voldemort will win. Sorry.
We got a split decision in favor of Voldemort. Okay, but we're not leaving Warhammer Fantasy just yet. We got another mage, but this time a high elf. We got my bro Teclis. He's a good mage. A bit cray sometimes, a bit out of the box. You never know if he's gonna destroy the world to win this fight.
I don't want to be in the ring this time either.
No, Teclis, he for context for those listeners who don't know about Warhammer Fantasy in the end times, but one of the reasons the entire world ended was that Teclis got an idea and it ruined the entire planet.
Oh no.
Unintended consequence. But the plan was good and sound.
Yeah, shit happens.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go Voldemort in this one.
Teclis, my man.
Teclis, he won't take a loss.
Yeah.
He won't
if
give
the
up the
world
fight.
has to end, then it's gonna end.
Yeah.
And then we have the last comparison from Warhammer Fantasy. Final mage to take on Voldemort, the pride of the Empire of Man. We got Balthazar, the man who can turn people into gold. And we know that's going to be his opening move. He's going to turn Voldemort into solid gold and say, Harry Potter, I just made you richer.
Here you can have him.
And also, this school of magic of yours, perhaps I could visit it.
Yeah, I'm just, for the fun of it, going to go Voldemort because I say maybe he has a dispel option, or maybe there's a bigger chance for the Emperor to miscast. And then it blows up in his own face.
Well, I don't know who Balthazar is, so I'm gonna go with Voldemort.
Yeah. So a bit of our fight-ups sees that Voldemort can sort of hang in there.
Fighting for his life.
And just for the sake of it, we have another fight up, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a unanimous decision for Voldemort. And we can't forget that there is some magic in Game of Thrones. So we got Melisandre versus Voldemort, and I think Melisandre is pretty fucked.
Yeah, I'm not going to the. I think she will lose several times.
Yeah.
So she'll come back because the fire god, the Lord of Light, will revive her, and he'll just whack her until there's nothing left of her.
Yeah. The Lord of Light ain't surrendering, but it ain't helping either.
No.
And of course, we can't forget the next fight up. We have Voldemort versus Jennifer of Wengenberg.
Ooh.
And you can't underestimate, the fighting will of Jennifer.
Oh yeah, she's ruthless.
She got the killer instinct.
Yes.
She got the will to go all the rounds.
I believe she's going to win. She's a mean one.
She's.
And she's smart.
She's.
And she can use fire.
So, yeah.
And lightning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't always have to say stuff to do magic.
No.
But also she doesn't need a wand.
Exactly.
And she got the power of teleportation.
Yes. So they can fight anywhere.
No, you're still in the ring, but I mean, when he shoots against her, she can portal out of the way and shoot something back as she's exiting the portal. And you know, Jennifer is also smart. She's gonna prepare for the fight. You know, she's gonna watch the fight tape several times and prepare.
Of course,
she ain't that kind of gal that just shows up.
No.
You know, Sauron is gonna be a bit more. Yes, I got this, bro. I don't need to prepare for this fight. I'm the MVP.
So
he got that Tyson mentality.
Yeah.
But Jennifer, no.
She's
the
smart.
disciplined one.
She's smart.
I'm thinking Voldemort in this one.
You do?
Yeah, so I think she will be really prepared. And I think he will be really, really prepared. So maybe he has found some of his Death Eaters, gotten to her close ones, and she has to make a choice. Does she save? And she will be a hero. And you can't be a hero in a villain fight. So the edge, I think, will go to Voldemort because she can prepare for him, but he can prepare for her and her friends. And he will use that against her.
Oh, yeah.
But I really want Jennifer to win. So I'm a vote for her. She's a girl. I'm a girl. Of course, I vote for her.
Sure.
Yes, and we have 2 more left to go. If you're ready. Because now we have an opponent who's not a mage.
Okay.
Geralt of Rivia versus Voldemort.
Yeah, Voldemort is screwed.
Yes.
Never underestimate the Witcher.
No.
I mean, he has a bit of magical resistance.
Yes.
And he's quick.
Yeah.
And he's used to fighting spellcasters.
Yes.
And getting in close with the silver sword.
Yes.
And I don't know if a silver sword makes any more difference, but he's going to go with tradition.
Yes. He's going
his
to
fighter reflex is used to that being what you have to use against something that looks like Voldemort. That's clearly a monster.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But I mean...
He sees him and he just goes for the kill.
Yeah. Still, I don't think he would win in a fight. But this is a villain fight. So, I don't agree with the matchup. This is not a villain fight.
No. They doesn't always have to be villains. And I have a final Easter egg comparison, but in this one I can't vote because it's a character I have written. So, you know, I'm not neutral in this. Of course I want my creations to win. And I'm going to give the 2 of you an option. Do you want a magic user from the world of Naissus, or do you want a sword fighter to fight Voldemort?
A sword fighter.
Yeah, let's go with sword.
Yes, and for those that have read some of my books, it's of course going to be Hussar Knight Pavel of Lublin.
Yes.
With his bison sword. And general cynical outlook.
Yes. I so want to believe that Pavel is going to win because he's a smart one.
He is. I'm going to say, because Pavel will not make this fair.
No.
So this
he's too smart.
He will win with an assist from Ivan.
Of course, yes. Ivan is going to be there. Outside, giving him instructions. Do this.
And bringing the holy into the ring.
Believe in Orion, he will save us.
Light of Orion will prevail.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise be Orion.
But if you want, I could also throw in the magic user.
No, I'm thinking we should save them till there was a new matchup. But I'm going to give you the heads up to do it anyway.
Dun, dun, dun. The Baroness Carmilla Baffery of Wesperness. And the greater extent of her magical power will be revealed in the final part of the Naissus Legend books. So, a little teaser for those reading the series. Her greatest magical power is blood magic.
Voldemort is going to die.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean,
Yeah, he has no chance.
he lost a boy.
Yeah, yeah. He lost to Harry Potter, the baby boy.
And don't forget her powers of seduction, which was
Yes.
established in book 2.
Oh,
And I
this
don't
is going to
think-
be an X-rated fight.
And I don't actually believe that Voldemort, as supposedly a man, is going to be able to.
Didn't he
withstand.
have a girlfriend in the books, Voldemort?
I don't know. I haven't read the books.
That in the movies as well. I mean, the witch.
Bellatrix.
Bellatrix, yeah. Wasn't Bellatrix and Voldemort a thing?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, Voldemort hasn't seen Carmilla with her white hair and red lips.
And her beautiful face.
Yeah, never changes.
Yes.
For many, many generations.
Perfect forever.
Yeah, so, I mean, they have some stuff in common, you know, the thing of living a long time.
Well, Voldemort isn't that old.
But perhaps Carmilla likes the younger boys.
Yes. So, as we say in Swedish, lammkött.
Yeah.
Lamb meat.
Yeah, but then I have to throw in another fight, and for potential fans, this is also sort of a teaser, if you can connect why this comparison comes now. Dracula versus Voldemort. And for clarification, we're going Bram Stoker Dracula here.
Yeah, so I'm going Voldemort in this one.
Yeah, I think so
Yes.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
he's
mean,
going to win.
if it was a fight about lurking in a castle,
He would
and
win.
turning into a bat.
And then fly away.
or being the real evil that can say, oh. But I think, no, I don't think. I mean, Dracula always loses.
Ah,
Yeah.
He has lost too
sort of
many
a
times.
punching bag.
Yes.
Poor Dracula.
Giving vampires around the world a very bad reputation.
So I'll throw you a curveball.
Yeah?
So let's say, since Voldemort is our main target today, how about the matchup of Voldemort against the Sorcerer Supreme from the Marvel Universe?
I think the Sorcerer Supreme wins.
Yay, Wongers!
Because he has that time stone, right?
So,
They have like infinite amounts of times testing how to beat him. Sort of a cheat code.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, the Sorcerer Supreme doesn't actually have it, because Strange isn't the Sorcerer Supreme in the movies, because he was snapped out of existence for 5 years, so they had a new Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay, so who
Is
is the Sorcerer Supreme?
It's Wong,
The Asian guy.
the Asian guy.
I want to see him win, but I don't know if he would win. But I
course
like
he
the guy.
Wongers will always win.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
pure fan service.
Yes.
I'm going with him. I might
Never bet
lose that
against-
bet, but
Because he actually staged fights.
yeah, can't forget that.
So I think
I think we're pretty done for today.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've
yeah,
gone into Potter and a bit of fighting as well.
yeah.
Of course,
You know,
yes.
the love the game.
Yes.
So in the comments, drop your favorite matchup in the fantasy universe and who you think would win. And we promise we will do our best to give our input.
Yes.
Sure, and let's see what the next journey will take us. And I'll just sign off with keep on reading.
And I will sign off with don't forget to like and subscribe as well.
See you all next week. And remember, always believe in Techless.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.